Video is sponsored by YFOOD, but it ain't a problem because I'll probably end up giving it away to somebody. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it's a worrying day for me. The old buttocks are twitching a little bit, you know what I mean? And hope I don't get any leaks because that's a hell of a lot of water if I've got a problem in there. I'm so happy at the moment.
Biggie's coming to check out the koi pond.
Brand new dechlorinator, 11,400 litres. But one thing that I'm super happy with, looks like we're just about to go over the skimmer. Literally been back and forward all day today, and we'll be back on track and then everything will fill up at the same time. So there's that shower working. Right, so I just fired up this drum. Look at the amount of stuff that is caught already. That's filling up now. And I am absolutely buzzing. I've put up every ounce of water into this pond that I need because I'm having hell of a trouble trying to work this out as well. Turn on this one. Biotube. See something good, I'll tell you. I'm the koi whisperer, trust me. Sit there and let it colonise against the media itself. That's the way I'm doing it. To start with, I'm just going to undo this one. You're £100 a time, 25, 10 plus postage. So this is not a diet drink, it's not a protein shake. The drum float switch drops 24/7. Got to weigh up the situation as and when it comes to you. Simple. How are you doing, everyone? Welcome back. So just before we start this video, I've got an absolute cracking video for you. But just before we start with, this video is sponsored by YFOOD. So a lot of you already know I'm constantly busy, I'm always doing projects, and this is a quick and easy meal for me. I get home from work, grab one straight out the fridge, and I can just crack on with the rest of my pond jobs for the evening. And to top it off, they're absolutely delicious. So YFOOD contains everything your body needs, with 26 vitamins and minerals, gluten-free, lactose-free, and rich in fibre. So this is not a diet drink, it's not a protein shake, it's a full meal replacement, and I absolutely love them. YFOODs come in a complete different range of flavours, with classic cocoa, smooth vanilla, happy banana, cold brew coffee, and crazy coconut, which is my favourite. So not only do they taste amazing, they keep you full for 3 to 5 hours, and they've got a shelf life for 6 months. So I absolutely love YFOODs. I want to say a massive thank you for YFOODs for sponsoring this video. If you want to try out YFOODs yourself, there's a discount code in the description of this video and in the link. So let's just crack on with this video. We've just gone past the bottom seal of the window. There's no leaks as of yet, so good news. Got a bit of a steamy windows going on there for the temperature difference compared to the water, to how hot the glass is. Slowly getting there. Another 500 litres have gone in. Yeah, almost 600 litres have gone in. Nearly 2 hours running. Don't know if it's because my water's restricted here, but it just seems to be taking forever. We got the first bit of water going into the drum. I've just opened that ball valve very slightly. There was quite a bit of air in there, so I've just released it very slowly. And I heard a hell of a farting sound come out of here. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it's a worrying day for me. The old buttocks are twitching a little bit, you know what I mean? slowly, filling up the bio tank. And while I'm here, while the water's running in, just checking every joint, making sure there's no leaks. Everything's all good at the moment. I haven't spotted any leaks at the moment, so that's all good news. I'm hoping I've got everything at the right levels. I'm a little bit concerned about the amount of air that's going to come out of this bio. Underneath here, you can see the hose. There's one that side, there's one that side. And the reason why they're there is because the way they put these air lines in, I suppose if you want to customise it to whichever way round that you want it to be done. If I ever want to add any other air lines to it, down here, just to keep things moving down this end as well, there for me to be done. Just hoping that the levels are right with that bubbling, that I don't get water spilling over those hoses. But if it does, I'll have to work something out and maybe jack it up by another 18 mil or something along those lines. They are slowly filling up. I did leave you on a bit of a cliffhanger yesterday. That's part of YouTube. It gets you come back and watch another video, doesn't it? But we're back. Just clocked over 8,000. I reckon there's still another 3, if not more, to go into here. My fittings turn up today, so I can get this one working as well. I'm hoping the fittings turn up, not just for that reason, so I can get the fittings in here. Waiting for that Y piece to connect both of them to that. I'm just going to connect one up and run one for time being to gas off all of the chlorine as much as I possibly can. I won't put any of that in yet. I might put one bag in, depending if my airlines turn up. All I can smell here at the moment, with that there, it's a real strong smell of chlorine. Obviously running the tap, no dechlorinator, you can really tell the amount of chlorine that's in this water with this being gassed off at the moment. It will gas itself off in 24 to 48 hours, but I'm going to add some dechlorinator in once it's been running for a day or two. Don't want to add in anything yet in case I've got any problems. If I've got problems and I lose water, then I don't want to be adding chemicals and treatments in. I'll explain that when I got it all. I'm going to speak to a man, probably on Facebook, Finch Filtrations, I think he's called. I'm going to order up some bits today, and hopefully by the weekend, some of my new bits has turned up. So I'm just recording this for my reference more than anything. So I don't quite understand it. At the moment, the water level in this drum, I don't know if you can see, but down there, there's not 1 ounce of water on that drum at all. I thought the water had to go through the drum and then come out the clean side. If you can see, down there's quite a lot of water already. There's not 1 ounce of water in that drum there. You can see, look, not 1 ounce of water, fingers bone dry. But obviously that amount of water is coming through the clean side, which is that pipe is definitely in the clean side of the drum, which returns there, which is feeding into my bio. So all of that water which is in there hasn't gone into that drum. Don't know if it's because it's brand new and I'm just setting it up, and eventually when there's full flow, water will get pulled through that drum anyway, and there might not be a problem with it, but I'm recording this for my reference. Obviously this is all new to me, so from whatever I say, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with this drum. I'm not saying a word of that. I'm keeping this for reference for myself if I've got a problem with anything, because this was not cheap, this was not cheap, and I want it to be right. It's a bit strange why there's water in there when it hasn't even gone through the drum yet. So unless it's going through the bypass, it could be that. It could be going underneath the bypass, because water will find its way. It could be the bypass this side. Obviously down this side there's not 1 ounce of water yet. The skimmer line, which is there, that skimmer line feeds this side of the drum. So I've got a dirty side, and this is the clean side. So this side, obviously the water's not passing back through here, so I reckon it could be the overflow, thinking about it. But if it's not the overflow, it could be something else. It could be this seal maybe underneath, but because of these bypasses, they're not actually glued in, I reckon it could be that, to be fair. This is my reference, it's not for the videos. I'm not slating the drum, I'm not saying it's because it's not even working yet. It's my reference only. I've said that how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom! But look, what I've done, I've managed to temporarily just get a bit of air in here just to keep gassing off, because that chlorine is super strong. I can smell it. Need the postman to turn up and get me bits so I can get that on and that on. The inside of the filter house looks like we're just about to go over the skimmer. Proper nervous about this. All of the pipe work down through here was really awkward for me to get in and glue and sort out. So hopefully there's no leaks. I've still got to clean up that pipe down there as well. I can see where I've been hitting it with the mallet to get the pipe disconnected when I was gluing it. We're super close for going over the skimmer line now. I've just took the plate out. Near the dust which is in behind there, it all gets washed out. I'm hoping there's no leaks on this line. Let's have a little look, see how many litres we're in there now. Best just have a little check, see where we're at. 10,103, and we're still filling up. Go and have a look at my filter house. Literally been back and forward all day today, make sure that I've got no leaks. I haven't really done anything else because I'm concerned about what's going to happen. At the moment, there's no leaks down there. I like that word today. I like thank your mother for the rabbits today too. So the bio's filling up as well. I'm probably nervous. Until I turn on the pressurised systems there, that's when I'll find out if I've got any leaks. I've just flipped the air pump off at the second. I want to make sure both are working, and I'm pumping 80 litres an hour through that one drain, and it's just erupting that area. Not that it's overspilling, but I just wanted to see where the levels were at while I make this little bit of a video. And I can see skimmer there, it's just slightly going over into the rest of the system. Got that one bubbling away. Same again. That connection still hasn't turned up. I don't think it will turn up today. Hopefully it turns up tomorrow. Gives me a time to check for leaks and see what's happening. Still don't understand how I've got all of that water in there, which has come through here, come through the clean side of the drum, got to be passing through these overflow pipes. It's got to be. It's the only way I can see it coming through. Definitely a bit strange, because no water should get through that drum unless it goes through the drum to start with. Do you get what I mean? This should fill up and go through the drum and over. If I just put my hand in there now, we have got water there now, so it is going through the drum now, but it just seems a bit strange. Maybe when I start pulling the water, things will change. Not really sure. It's all new, I'm learning. I don't even know how it works. A little surprise to go up there as well in a minute. Absolutely banging piece of work. I'll explain that when it turns up, but the plan is to sort that out as well. I am proper buzzing. Yeah, I am absolutely buzzing, to be fair. This pond is... I just wanted to sit down for a minute and just think to myself, water's going in, do you know what I mean? I'm tinkering around. I'm so happy at the moment, it's unbelievable. Obviously, I'm hoping I don't get any problems, any leaks. If I do, I'll sort them out. It's been such a long time since I've had water in the back garden again now, and all of the hard work that I've done over the past, how many months have we been going? It's got to be at least 5 months, if not 6. Could be even longer than that. It's been that much of a project. The things I've had to do, the cement I've had to mix up, the concrete that I've laid, the blocks I've laid, the timber I've brought in. It's been a hell of a lot of hard work, and I'm buzzing. Look out now then. Check that out. That's filling up now. Ain't really filling up that fast. What's happening? I'm pulling water that fast. So basically, I'm just fired up this pump, 30,000 litre, running at 37%. And all I'm doing is pulling it through the bio. I haven't got no leaks in my union, especially on that one. So that there, I'm more than happy, because I was absolutely pooing my pants about that leaking. Runs up through here. And then what I've done, I've just made, this one's still closed. I'm just running everything through here to test my joints. I'm more than happy with that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up this one and see if I've got any leaks out here. This is the next bit I have to check. So bear with me. I'm going to open it up and run out around the back to make sure that nothing's leaking. There we have it. The first shower is working. It's going to create a bit of dust with all the media that's in there. It's all brand new. Obviously, I ain't worried if it goes in the water. But there's that shower working. I've just got to check for leaks. I'm trying to show you and check for leaks. We'll get in there and check down there in a minute. But it looks from here that one's not leaking. Don't look like I've got any leaks there. I'm only running the one shower at the moment, doing one at a time and checking, making sure I've got no leaks. No leaks on that one. Got to check this bottom one next. I'll jump out around the back. I've got to check it, guys. I can't not check it. I think he's coming to check out the koi pond. Special VIP guest. Check this out. I got no leaks and I am absolutely buzzing. Woo! I tell you what, I am over the moon. I still got a lot of things to sort out, but check that out. So that's running on one pump, a 30,000 litre an hour pump, and that there's running at 75%. And that's ample flow between both filters, and I can tune it up if I want. So I just fired up this drum. I just wanted to show you this. This is the first time. So this is all the stuff that's been left in my bottom drains. Most of it's just dust and sawdust and stuff I've had in my bottom drains. So all I'm going to do is fire it up, and it's part of the reason why I wanted wet plugs on everything, because when you got a drum, they do create a bit of steam. Look at the amount of stuff that is caught already. That there is absolutely outstanding. You can see down here, all my waste is getting washed away. That there is absolutely incredible. Look at the jets working. The jets are spraying everything down there as well. I'll turn it off a minute because I'm making a hell of a mess here. That's the only bit of water that I've had made a mess. So if I got a bit on the camera, I apologise. But that there is absolutely crazy. So small, you can't even grab hold of it. Try and get a bit on my finger. Right, there. If this don't get my koi pond clean now, look at that. That is absolutely incredible. Woohoo! I'm absolutely buzzing. Put up every ounce of water into this pond that I need. But total volume, just so I remember myself, is 11,428. Well, I'm going to square that up to 11,420, just so I remember. Or I'll probably just call it 11,400. That's the easiest thing to do. 11,400. So that being said, let's go into my filter house and show you what I'm learning as I'm learning it. So all of my pipe work, I haven't had one trouble with one leak. I haven't found a leak anywhere. What I have found a trouble with is my line, which I've done my mark from. You get right in there, you should still be able to see the red line as well. Well, I'm bang on that, exactly where it needs to be. That means my overflow is bang on, which is exactly where I wanted it to be. The only thing that I'm not bang on, and I don't know how I've done it or what I've done, or not even sure, to be fair, not unless the floor's slightly different from when I took my measurements. Even though the floor's dead level, I just can't work it out. But I'm about 6 mil out, 6 or 7 mil out. So where I've got my line here, which I measured across here off of this side, the same distance down, put a spirit level across, and thought that's where my water level will be. So basically where my water level is here, you look, I'm touching it with my fingertip, just the actual end of my fingertip there. That is actually touching the water there, and I'm touching the boat as well. So it's that gap, that water level should be there, being sat standard as it is. I don't think it's going to cause me massive problems, and it's something that I can sort out, because it literally means I need to take 5 mil off every single leg, lower it down. I think by doing 5 mil I'll be able to just move the pipe work into place, because it's all rubber boots. I might have to trim up the pipe, but I'm going to do that at a later date. Now at that level in there, and as you can see back here, at that level back there, I've just cleared the hole as well, which is pretty, is it lucky or is it just the hammer, whatever you want to call it? You can see everything's dead level in here. Thing I want to show you, so when I turn my pumps on, and I don't know if this is when you're supposed to set the drum at the right height, of how much water that it takes from this drum. I've also set my float switch in the right place, and I'm learning all of this as we're going, because I've never owned a drum. I don't really know how they work, and it's teething problems, that's all it is. But basically I've set this so this here triggers falls down. Basically that means that there's not enough water in this side, and then it triggers this to clean. It's not pulling enough water through the drum, which makes that drop, and then what happens when that drops is it triggers here, which turns on the pumps. But just for time being, because I'm having hell of a trouble trying to work this out as well, I don't like reading. I can't read. They give you a manual there. Got a manual there, but I absolutely hate reading. I'll tell you what, it'd be better to get Mr. Sheen on it and say, have a read for me. I'm going to give them a ring later and see if they can help me out. So she's firing up. This is the return, which will come out of the bio. I don't know why, but that there's made water come out of the overflow. Maybe I'm pumping it from out of here, but see, it's pulling it out of this bio but dishing it into the pond. 80% for a minute, just until I work things out. And that one's running at, I want to be running that roughly around 45%. Probably be the running times that I want to run on it, and I can turn them up if need be. I'll have to adjust the ball valves to get them to work right. I just want to show you how much this is dropped in here. So where we was right at the top a minute ago, that's dropped a fair way now. I'm pumping it back to the pond. Overflow stopped, sat right at maximum. It's noisy in here, I apologise about that, but if you check out this, from where I was a minute ago, near that second boat, it's actually pulled the water down to the second boat from the bottom. That means I have to lower that drum by that much. Take the measurement between where it is now and where I want it to be and lower it by that much. Probably nearer the 20 mil, I would have said, to be fair with you. I'll have to work that out as well, because I don't know if that there still has to be right tight to the top, or if it will be alright just running it as it is. Obviously, never owning a drum, I know a lot of people say they've got to get that water as close as you can to that waste chute. I suppose that allows you to have more water passing through the drum, but in theory that there will trigger that to drop in a minute, I imagine, completely drop, or is it already completely dropped? Yeah, it's already completely dropped, so I'm going to have to set that now. I don't really know what I'm doing here, to be fair. I've had a read with the manual and I don't have a bloody clue, to be fair with you. But on the plus note, out here in the pond, the things that I do know what I'm doing, the glue work, the showers, the things that I do know, all seems to be working an absolute treat. People will say my showers are too close to the pond water as well. I know people will say that, but that's how I wanted it. I wanted it like that, just to quieten that noise down a little bit. Just living and learning, that's all I'm doing. These ponds, sometimes you've got to adjust them. It's as simple as that. You've got to work it out, have a think, go back, think again, and just keep playing around with it. That's all you can do, innit? Can't do nothing else extra. Got to weigh up the situation as and when it comes to you. Simple. Tell you what, I haven't heard the sound of water in my garden for a long time. Apart from that thing going off every weekend. That being said, what I've done, just while I'm tinkering around here, I pressure washed off that drain and give that a bit of a clean off because it was all dusty, needed to be done. Give the tops a little bit of a clean just to get rid of some of the cement dust. Got no leaks in the window whatsoever. One night this week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay them in place. The next job is to get the tiles on the side of the pond, really finish it off. But what I'm going to do now, as I'm happy with the water, I've over put the water in now as well. So I've put a little bit more in just to expect that drum to be cleaning every, well, obviously the stuff in the bottom drains, the dirty water that's come out from the sediment which was in the bio, in the mountain tree media blocks there. I didn't pre-clean them before I put it in, so the water's a little bit murky. But what I'm going to do, I haven't quite got enough. Just looked at my cupboard and I've got a brand new dechlorinator. It treats up to 2,000 gallons, which is not enough here. I can't remember the exact volume. I did have it on that meter. Where's that meter? Let's have a look. I'll have to convert that, or if someone would like to convert it for me. So by what this is saying, we said we was going to say lose the 28 and just call it 11,400 litres. So if someone would like to convert that to gallons for me, or I'll get the calculator out and sort it out in a minute. But I'm going to add all of this into there, and then I'm going to add 2 bags of this to start with, 50 litres, because I've only got one air pump at the moment, and I know this ain't going to do nothing, but if I put it in there, it starts, doesn't it? What I've got to do in a couple of days time, after this is gone through the system and dechlorinated all of the water, I'm going to add some more of this. I'm also going to order one of those chlorine checkers because I've ran out of DP number 4 tablets, so I'm going to get a HANA test kit. Actually, I would like to renew all of this and get the whole HANA system, but put it on my Christmas list, I say. What I'm going to do is add in all of that. Just literally, I'm going to do this one-handed, put my finger into the end of it, like that, and then I'm just going to add all of that into here. As it's bubbling up, keep dishing it all in. Where the return lines are there. Well, it's pretty stupid me doing that. It all gets returned that way anyway, doesn't it? That's where it all goes. It all gets returned either there or the other end of the pond. So I'm just as well keep adding it into here. Chuck it all in. Get it in there. Every last little bit. I'm going to need more, but that says 2,000 gallons. Well, I'm over 2,000 gallons. You can see that says 9,100 litres. And by that thing, I'm over that. So I'm going to need more. But it's a start. It's better than putting nothing in at all. I'm going to chuck some media in. 25 litres of the BioFlow Plus from Burton's. And I've got 5 litres of the BioTube from Burton's. So this stuff's very similar to K1. The only thing different is that this stuff is better. It's got more surface area. So that's probably my sponsorship gone from Evolution Aqua, but who gives a monkeys? Yeah, so this stuff's better from the read up, the write up. The surface area on each piece of this K1, not K1, on each piece of this BioTube is more. Look it up on the internet if you don't believe me. Proven fact. So what I'm going to do is put 25 litres in to start with. and just see how we get on. The other bag in as well. Look at that, look. 25 litres in there. And it doesn't even touch the sides, boy. Obviously I'm still waiting on 2 air pumps running. They're in there, I'm just waiting for my connection. It just ain't turning up. It ain't turning up today anyway, it's gone past delivery time. And one thing I've noticed straight away, don't look like I've got any swarf. Don't look like I've got any misshaped bits of plastic floating around. So why would you want to go with a different company when you can go with Burton's? And I ain't sponsored by them either. But when I see something good, I tell you. Thank you, mother for the rabbits! Right, this is a big old bag. So this is exactly the same. I've decided to put 50 litres in as well. So in total there will be 75 litres of biotube in here. And basically the reason why I'm doing that is because I know it's going to take a little bit of time for it to sort itself out. Makes you wonder how you get it all in there, doesn't it? This tank can hold 200 litres, but looking at that, don't look like it would be able to hold any more. The thing I do like about this tank, how many people find that they have a bio tank and your media climbs up the wall and then comes out of your bio tank? But what Burton's have done, they've rounded off everything. So if it climbs up the wall, it falls back down. Simple. Hell of an idea. But it's another reason why I've gone with this stuff here, to be fair. But that's 75 litres in there. That's going to take, I would have said, at least a month, if not longer, before it starts working properly. Get on, Mrs. Coin Whisperer. But I've decided as well not to cheat. I'm going to run you all through, because a load of people's going to go through it. There's no point me just nicking all my media out of my old pond, setting it up straight away and going, oh, I ain't got no trouble with new pond syndrome. I'm going to show you a way how you deal with new pond syndrome. I'll show you the proper way from start to finish. No messing around. I'm the Koi Whisperer, trust me. The big blue that was running on the pond out in the front garden at the moment, what I'm up to, that I need to make sure that I've got the chlorinated water coming into this pond, trickling in. I can drill through the wall and get the big blue and everything into here and trickle the water slowly into there, or run it back, and I'll trickle it in somewhere in here, I'm not sure where. But what I'm doing at the moment, I've had a hell of a delivery as well, but I'm just disconnecting this, and when I've disconnected this from out there, and obviously I haven't been maintaining this or checking it nowhere near as much as what I normally would over the years of me running a koi pond, the smell that come out of that was absolutely stinking. It reminded me of rotten eggs, a smell like rotten eggs. So what I'm going to do, I'm not even going to think about using that on this pond. I'm going to drain all of the carbon out and get hold of some more carbon, and I'll tell you where I'm getting hold of that carbon. I'm also going to change all of my blocks which are in here as well, because they're well overdue. Since they've been on the pond in that front garden, I haven't changed them, and they're well overdue. So what I've done, hold of a man on Facebook, and I don't know if you know him, but he knows everything about water, and he's set me on the right tracks to what I need to do. So if you don't know him, Finch Filtration, thank you very much. He is an absolute legend. You can check him out on Instagram, Facebook and WhatsApp. Give him a ring, and I tell you one thing for sure, he knows everything about water. So if you got chlorine in your water, if you got chloramine in your water, he's been teaching me a few things, some of the things I didn't know about. These are all new, so this is to go into there. How you test for chlorine and chloramine. Well, the way that I was taught was a complete wrong way. So what I've done, he put me on the right track. So I've got my chlorine checker, which is there, total chlorine, Hannah test kit, that was £100. And I've also got my ammonia test kit, and I'll run you through all of this of how I test it, but I've just done a real quick sample. Well, if you've got chloramine in your water, when you take it from your tap supply, what will happen is that you'll have ammonia in your tap water supply coming out of there. That means you've got chloramine in your water. But if you haven't got chloramine in your water, which is a bonus, and you've only got chlorine, you need a different type of carbon to take out just chlorine, not chloramine. So there's different ways of doing stuff. I bought this one here. This one is 25 quid, and I've always ever used one. I don't really need to use it. I haven't got chloramine in my water. And the way that I found that out is because I've used the Hannah test kit, and these are the only test kits that you'll be able to find out if you've got chloramine in your water, because the bottle ones were just not good enough and not accurate enough to tell you to get you down to the right ppm. Well, now I know that I don't need this anymore. Probably end up giving it away to somebody as a free giveaway for the people that do need it. But this set here, so I'm going to put a brand new set into there. But I highly recommend Finch Filtration. I'm not sponsored by him. He's just a top bloke. He's given me his time and day on the phone to explain, to get me on the right tracks. And eventually, he's going to come down and visit me. I'm going to buy 12.5 kilos of carbon to go into this. So I've got to empty all of that out. But for the time being, I need to get something up and running on the pond, because if the drum filter drops, what will happen, that level will drop, the pond level will drop, and then it will just constantly go on a constant clean. So for the time being, I'm just going to trickle water in constantly until I get my tank made with an automatic on and off, which my plumber's coming out to help me on the right tracks of how I'm going to sort that out as well. But to start with, I'm just going to undo this one. I'm going to get these new blocks into there, and we're going to take it from there. We'll explain a little bit more about how these test kits work and what they do in a minute. Obviously, I've bought some extra bits. Just what you see there cost me 250 odd pound, because these are £100 a time, 25, 10 plus postage. But Finch Filtration's the man to deal with, I tell you that. Check them out on Facebook. All I've done for now, for temporary, I've just put this one in place because I've got to have constant water going in, else if the drum float switch drops, it will just go on a constant clean, and it will just keep cleaning all of the pond water out without me slowly topping up. So all I'm doing, as you can see, I'm literally just trickling in a tiny bit of water 24/7. Hopefully it helps out. So I've just had the tester out. I will film me doing it again, but I've got no chlorine coming through that water whatsoever at the moment. I know that ain't man enough to keep all chlorine out 24/7. So just ordered a load of carbon to go into the blue dechlorinator that I've got over there. He does recommend me that I won't need to run that and that, but he said it won't hurt if I do. Just last longer without me getting any chlorine in my water. So it's something that I did before, and it's something that I'm going to carry on doing. Obviously, I'm going to drain that out. I'll show you a video of me doing that. But I'm just obviously trying to get everything in the footage here, trying to sort out everything at the same time. But what I want to do now, what I've done, I've turned off the pump, which is feeding the side returns. Let this bubble away inside of here for the next hour or so. What that will do, it will colonise against the media, and it will just give it a bit of a kickstart, and it will help it out that little extra bit. But I'm not going to do it all in the same night, because obviously it will get pumped back to the pond, and it will get wasted down the overflow, because I've got a constant water feed going into the pond. And just let it bubble away. It's going to move around inside of there. I'm going to stick to the media. It will take a while before this media becomes matured, and I won't have to add any of this. For me to get this pond up and running, it's going to take a long time, but this is the way to kickstart your media off. 38 quid though, criminal. So one extra thing I've got to do is turn my UVs off. Like that, they're disconnected. There's no point me undoing the plug when I can just turn it off there, turn off both at the same time. But the reason why that's turned off, it gives that time to colonise without being killed off. You're running the UV light to turn it off for 12 hours after dose and let that mature. It will just help out. I've just turned the air off just so you can hear what I've done, and I've just put a tiny little bit over the top just for a second and just moving it in. It does tell me to go and wash my hands as well in a minute. I'm going to do that, but I'm just leaving that there to set there for a little bit. And I can put a lot more in, like I said, but I'm not going to, because I'm going to do this every night. Koi's going to go into the pond in a couple days time, so I'm making sure my water is perfect. And just do that and just leave that in there for a little bit. Just really let that all get in between that media, mix it up slightly, and just really let it sit there and let it colonise against the media itself. That's the way I'm doing it, and it's the best way of doing it. Yeah, you've joined me out here in the garden. I'm sat near the pond and I'm totally buzzing. I do apologise about a little bit of the light at the end of this video, but it's coming to the end of the video. I know I've got a lot of things to sort out, I've got a lot of things to play around with, and I know there'll probably be a hell of a lot of comments saying, James, you need to do this, you need to do that. Well, just bear with me for a second, because I've literally only just got it set up, but one thing's for sure, I will not rest until I get this pond perfect, and exactly how I want to run it, and exactly how I want to maintain it. That being said, that's a whole nother ball game. Trust me, I will get it sorted. Everything else I'm completely happy with. I'm totally over the moon that I didn't get one leak in all the pipe work that I've done, problems whatsoever. Stick around for the next couple of videos because they're going to be absolutely brilliant. I've got all of the koi coming back in the next couple of days. Obviously I'm ahead of these videos, so the time you come back, these fish are already going to be in there, and that's going to make one hell of a video. Then we can start going koi shopping and buy some new koi. But that being said, I need you to like the video for me. I hope you can like the video for me. I cannot wait to bring my koi back here. I want to say a thank you to YFOOD for sponsoring this video. It's been very, very helpful, and things like that in the video helps me pay towards new projects, new things, new ideas, and what I want to do. Just like the video, that's all I ask. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you on the next one.